All praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, double honors, double honors to apostles and the elders in New York, GMS, and salutations to Yahweh World Teaching the Truth, and Shalom to you, Sirius Aqua. My name is Maya Kaala Bungad, Wichita branch of Great Millstone. All right, so today is they say Columbus Day, all right, where Esau he's honoring um a, a, a mass murder and slaver of the Israelites, man. You know, and you see they'll tell you Columbus came in Americas. You know, he actually part of America, the Caribbean islands, Hispaniola, which is today Haiti and Salat, Haiti and Dominican Republic. And on that island was Ephraim, the Taino Awas, and other indigenous people, Indians, and they are the tribe of Simeon. Okay, so they had those two tribes, and the rest of the Caribbean islands were Ephraim, except for Cuba. On Cuba, that's Manasseh. Okay, so the indigenous people in the islands, in the Caribbean islands, majority of Ephraim. All right, then in the Dominican Republic, the indigenous people there island does Simeon, and then in Cuba, um, the indigenous people of that island is Manasseh. Okay, now the so-called Negroes that are brought over there in the slave ship, particularly like Dominican Republic, does Judah, some parts of Caribbean islands, over the Trinidad and Jamaica, etc. Does Benjamin. All right, now in Cuba does Judah. Okay, and Puerto Rico that's some you gonna say Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right, so only indigenous people of those islands, particularly like Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, is Ephraim and Simeon and Manasseh, the rest of the islands, man. All right. Then let's get into it. It says right here from the article, it's right here. All right. It says from Bunk. It said Indian slaves mass murder their hidden history. All right. Matter of fact, the word Indian is a bad word, Deuteronomy 28:37. Okay. Slaves and mass. All right. But they don't teach you that part. In the schools, they leave out that part that the indigenous people in America, the Northern Kingdom, was enslaved by Esau, so-called white man, to Christopher Columbus. All right. It says Columbus liked the affectionate without malice Arauca speaking Taino natives. He found the men tall, handsome, good farmers. The women comely, means attractive, right? Near naked, because it was hot in that island, man. All right, it's hot in the Caribbean islands. All right. So that's why the ancestors, they were a little cold, extremely hot, man. All right. So is it apparently available in exchange for glass beads, brass hawk bells, and city red caps. Right? The seamen received cotton thread, parrots, food from the native gardens, fresh fish and fruits. Right? Even blessed with that island, man. You read that in Deuteronomy 33. It said fresh fish and fruits were abundant. Okay. It said glints and ornament worn by natives promised gold, and they presumably knew where to find more. It said aside from Philip, there was no serious hostility. Columbus returned to Barcelona and with 6 Taino natives who were paraded as curiosity, not shouted before King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella. All right, so Esau was coming over there. Basically, they was looking for. They knew they was going, man. All right, because they had some Israelites helping them, particularly from the Southern Kingdom. All right, so-called Negroes. All right, the Moreno Jews, and you had the Moors. You know, the same people, just different doctrine. Moors into the Islam. Moreno Jews kept the law, statute, commandments. They forefathers, right? So these, you had some wicked Israelites helping Columbus to get on the side and bring hell upon their own people, man. All right. And Columbus knew about America. He was read the scripture. He was one of those what? He was one of those fake he was a poser, man. All right, he supposedly was a fake Jew. All right, it says right here, it says Isaiah 40, and he read the scripture. It says Isaiah 40 and 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the heavens thereof are a grasshopper that stretched out the heavens as a curtain and spread them as intended to wear. So Columbus knew that the earth was round, man. All right, and another thing he read Second Ezra 13, and he had to come across Second Ezra 13:39 through 48, and that's how the Northern Kingdom, the indigenous people came over here to America. Majority of the Northern Kingdom's over here in the Americas, where you had a few that stayed behind with the Southern Kingdom, but majority of them was over here, man. All right, and that's why later on, um, they called the Israelites over there that was left behind Jews because what majority of the Southern Kingdom was left for. Yeah, a few Northern Kingdom over there, but they was like in the minority. But you had majority of them Judah, Benjamin, Levi, man, who are the ancestors of the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians, so-called Haitians, man. All right, so you read Second Ezra 13:39 to 48 in the Apocrypha or the 1611 King James Version. It tell you how the 10 tribes came over here. And they purpose come over to white to obey the law, statute, command they couldn't keep over there. All right, but obviously they didn't, because if they did, this curse will never happen right here. All right, so I read this Deuteronomy, um, right, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe your commandments and statutes which commanded this day, the already curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. So, that's what happened, man. All right. All right. So they're gonna follow you. These curses, man. All right. Let me see. Right. And just bear with me, y'all. All right. It says right here, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, swift as an eagle, fly to summer for Esau. All right, the Spaniards, man. Spaniards, the people that pose in there, the British, all right, the French, the Dutch, all right. It says right here, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from the end of the earth with the eagle flying, nation with tongue thou shalt not understand. All right, so the seminal eagle is Esau, man. You read that in Obadiah. All right, so you got the eagle on the Apollo, right? The eagle on the Spanish flag, I believe the Nazi flag, the eagle on there. The Roman Empire, the eagle, because he's Esau. All right, so we fight a nation whose tongue, and that's why they had Israelites from the Southern Kingdom over here, the Moors, Marino Jews, to talk to the natives over here, because the natives over here they spoke broken Hebrew or dialects of Hebrew. All right. Um, it's just we say Arbar. As I say Hebrew Arbar, Lashwan Kodash. You go to the Los Lunas, Mexico, you see the Ten Commandments written in the Decalogue stone. The Los Lunas, Mexico, written in Lashwan Kodash, right, or the Holy Tongue, or Arbar. Arbar means from the past. All right, the old language, ancient language, Paleo Hebrew, Biblical Hebrew. A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard a person old, nor show favor to the young. All right, and that's what happened, man. All right, they came over here to conquer. All right, so when they seen all the gold and the different spices, guess what? That's what Esau. That's what they're going to do. All right, they're going to seek out. All right, let's see. Where's Salak got a little bit lost in here. All right, so come on. All right, it says right here. All right, it says the following year, Columbus led 17 ships that dropped 1,500 prosperous settlers on the Caribbean beaches and they stayed on relation with the local Indians, didn't generate it. What was soon imposed was the other slavery that University of California data historian Andres Resendez discussed in the symptoms on the last half century Scottish American Indian enslavement. First came the demand for miners to deal for gold. The easy container was transferred to gold panels working on the Spanish overseers. All right, so it came over there. All right, and you can see right here how they slaughter them ruthlessly, man, brutally, burn them, lynch them. All right, cut their babies open and everything, man. All right, so I know curses getting the fifth field, man. All right, so let's get right here. Let's see. So they came over there, all friendly and everything. Hi, you know. Let's see. Isaiah 50. Is that 50? Right, let me see. Slot songs. I don't know why I keep thinking Isaiah songs. So 55 and 21. All right, but they say it says the words. Let's see right here. All right, he put forth his hands against us to be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant agreement. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softened than oil, and yet, you know, yet they were drawn swords. All right, so that's what happened. All right, so let's go back to this article. Yeah, 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 he did. Yeah, Salak. All right, so Salak for that. All right, so yeah, let's see, it's not what I want. All right, so let's go back to this article right here. All right, so they seen all this resources over here, and guess what? What did Esau do when you see the resources? You get what? Get a bloody ass, man. All right, I mean bloody ass. Well, you gonna shed your blood to get what you want. He said the Spaniards also exploited forms of human bondage that already exist on that. And see, they always do this. Um, oh, they was already enslaved each other and all that. It's just Esau to try to make itself feel more less guilty, man. The Caribs are less than Atels were the more aggressive tribe regularly raided the Tainos, allegedly eating the men, but keeping the women and children as a chain. And that's a lie, man. They wouldn't eat nobody. That's a lie to Esau, so he had an excuse to slaughter our people to make himself, so he won't feel guilty, man. All right. So they put him in slavery. All right. All right. So they put him in slavery. All right. So let's go back to Deuteronomy 28. And it's proved that the indigenous people are the so-called Puerto Ricans, all right, the people, right, the indigenous people in Dominican Republic prove they're Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Okay, but was it not, the curses would never fall upon them. All right, so they put them in slavery. All right, right here, Deuteronomy 28, and I don't know what's going on, man. These demons. All right, it says right here, Deuteronomy 28 and 49. It says, a nation of fierce counsel shall not regard a person old, nor show favor to the young, and he shall eat the fruit thy cattle, fruit thy land, until thou be destroyed, while also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, flocks of thy sheep, until he had destroyed thee. All right, so he came here rob and steal, man. All right, so he came rob and steal to get their resources, man. All right, it says right here. All right. It said Deuteronomy 20:48, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, and hunger and thirst and in nakedness and want all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck till destroyed. All right, so they enslaved him. All right, they enslaved him, man. All right, all right. So that's what happened, man. All right. So you go right here and just so they slayed Ephraim and Simeon on that island, man. All right. So here's it's the book Africans and Native Americans, page 24, by Jack D. Forbes. He's a Gadite. All right, so it says in any case, at least 3,000 Americans are known to have been shipped to Europe between 1493 and 1501, with likely total being possible double that. Most were sent to severe area where they seemed to show up in the slave market as Negroes without a place of redemption. Others were probably sold in the Azores and other islands, probably to avoid the wrath of Queen Isabel, who occasionally expressed hostility towards the buying up of her vessels without her prior permission. All right. All right. It said Columbus reached Lisbon in early March 1493. Many people came to see the captive Americans. And it's very likely some of the latter was taken 9 leagues into the interior to see the king of Portugal. All right. It was 2 Americans drew a map to show locals, Bahamas, Cuba, and Haiti, and other islands, and see how people's a wise nation, as it says in Deuteronomy chapter 4, man. That's another thing Esau wants. All right, it said it may be also Columbus left some Americans with the Portuguese as discussed earlier. All right, so they fulfilled the prophecy of being on the slave ships. All right. You go right here, you go what it says right here. All right. So, you got all these scoffers like to say the so-called Puerto Ricans aren't Israelites. All right, but they fit in the prophecy, man, if they not. All right, and we're not gonna beat you in the head to that you get this and anything, man. All right, let you just go down the street, man. It ain't for you, man. You get it when you get barbecued over here in America's destruction. Come back with the elect to Israel, whoever they may be. All right, it says Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It's saying Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. All right, because the first captivity, all 12 tribes was enslaved in Egypt. All right, and another thing you scoffers like to do, you black on the Israelites and you scoff little Edomites like vocab alone. You see they see it was a ship when Israel got conquered, they flew to Egypt. No, those 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, majority of the Northern King was over here, man. All right. All right. So 3 tribes don't make up the whole nation of Israel, man. All right, you people dumb and stupid, man. All right, it says right here, Yahweh shall bring to Egypt again with ships though for talking about going to slavery. All right, it's talking about here in the Americas, man. All right, over here in the Americas. And matter of fact, Ephraim, so-called Caribbean, is in the book. African Americans, some of them came over here to Virginia in slave ships, man. So they fulfilled their prophecy to you black only Israelites, man. All right, that's another cut for you. It said, thou shalt see it no more again. All right, so the whole nation we should never see the land of Israel. There you should be sold unto your enemies for bondmen. Sold means the Most High gave over to our enemies. Why could we violate the law, statute, commandments? All right. Because in different verses of the Bible, it said you sold yourselves. You sold yourself mean what? We violate the law, statute, commandments. The Most High gave us up. It's not talking about we selling ourselves for a pound of gold and a pound of silver, man. As vocab alone, that idiot. And his chocolate twin, Garfield. All right. But anyway, it says, sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. No man shall buy you. All right. So we end up on the slave auction blocks, and no man shall buy you. All right. And what it says right here, no man shall buy me. Nobody's going to save us, man. So Ephraim right here, Ephraim. All right. And Simeon end up on the slave auction blocks, man. All right. It says right here, most were sent to Seville, Spain, where they seemed to show up in the slave markets as Negroes. All right. So they scared of Spain. All right, I'm gonna get to that Negro part. All right. It says right here, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth into the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor fathers have known, even wood or stone, the wood, Christianity, stone, Islam, other doctrines, man. Right, so they scammed over to Spain. They took it to the Mediterranean area. They took it to the islands in off West Africa, man. All right, all right, that is facts, man, and you can look it up. All right. All right, let's go look at right here, page 25. It said the world population. I'm gonna go back to 24, read the bottom of it if I could get it. Like I took it. But anyway, here's the part. The world population probably 4,400,000,000 of 80 million inhabitants inhabit the Americas by the middle of 16th century. Out of these 80 million, there remain 10. If the word gens had ever been applied to situation, some actually this here's the case, but tens of millions of Americans who disappeared after 1492 did not all die. And the Holocaust inflicted within America, many thousands were sent to Europe and Africa, where their descendants live today. And that's the portion of the 12 tribes sign, man. All right, cause people are scattered over the earth, man. All right, the Northern Kingdom is over there in Europe and Africa, man. Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Issachar, okay, um, um, the other tribes, man. Asher, okay, they over there, man. All right, they over there. All right. And then the Negro part, right? So, you know how people got diverse looks, like it says in Hosea, um, um, Hosea 7 and 8. Let me see here, right? It says what? Hosea 7 and 8. All right, Ephraim had mixed himself among the people. Ephraim's a cake not unturned. All right, so you got like a little pancake. One side be light, one side be dark. All right, people come from light to dark. Had mixed them among the people, right? So Northern Kingdom mixed themselves among the other nations. But guess what? You already see your father according to um, Numbers chapter 1, verse 1, and Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. All right, the nation Israel is a patriarch nation. Matter of fact, Ephraim, that's her father, Joseph, had his wife was Egyptian, a daughter of Egyptian high priest, man. But guess what? Those kids are the seed of their father. All right. So go right here. Right. So people had diverse looks. You can see what they say. What they show them as Negro mean. That was what dark skin. All right. This from the book 500 Nations. All right, by Alvin M. Joseph Jr. You can see right here the drawings. Esau drawn the Spanish drawing what copper people, man. All right, this is what some of the original Taínos Awas looked like. All right, so you can see why they was labeled as Negroes on there, but that's not the only look they had. Like I said, it's like it says in Jeremiah chapter 12 on that Israel's a speckled bird. That's dope for talking about Israel is dirty because they violate Dutch man, violate laws catch man. Yeah, but also talking about the different various phenotypes, man, light skin, dark skin, you know, etc., man. All right, so you go right here in this book, African Presence in Early America by Ivan Van Sertima. It says right here. It says right here, some of the Edomites. It says when the Europeans landed on this later island, St. Vincent, they found there are two populations, or better, two distinct races. One part of the islanders had ordinary reddish yellow complexion, like light skin. The others were blacks. In order to explain this later peculiarity, one has generally admitted that a ship carried slaves had been wrecked on these shores and that the blacks set free in this manner mixed with the ancient inhabitants. It is possible this hypothesis is true, but not necessarily the reason to explain the formation of mixed race, right? So this bunch of bullcrap. That's what Esau like to say. All right, when they see dark-skinned Northern Kingdom, also slave ships crash on, that's a lie, man. All right, that's page 198 from the book African Presence Early America by Ivan Van Sertima, man. All right, so people just diverse, man. Always been, man. All right. It says right here, page 199. All right. It says Armand de la Pose, a French missionary writing in 1646, tells us that blacks in Caribbees from St. Vincent fought side by side against the Frenchmen from Martinique on the island of St. Lucie before 1635. Fugitive slaves from the two wrecked or captured Spanish. The question will hardly have furniture the Caribbean was just former ally of the time, right? Because they was the same tribes, man. Same people, man. All right. Dark to light skinned, man. All right. All right, some had nappy hair, some had straight hair, some had fizzy hair. You know, some had sharp nose, some had the big broad noses, man. All right, okay. All right, so the people of the islands of the Caribbean Islands, they're slaves that the Bible speaks of. If not, these things would have never fell upon them. Okay. Esau. Get this, Amos chapter 1, verse 11. They slaughter brutalize our people over there in the islands. It said, thus said Yahweh for three transgressions, Edom, and for four, I will not turn away the punch thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and cast off all pity, and his anger to tell perpetually, he kept his wrath forever, man, right? Esau been bruised with his sword, his army, his guns, his chemical weapons, welfare. All right, when in Puerto Rico islands, they dropped nuclear bombs over there, man. All right. Amos chapter 1 verse 12, I will send a fire upon Timor, which shall devour the palaces of Boz by thermonuclear missiles hitting America, man. All right, go what? Obadiah. All right, and they still killing so-called Latinos and Native Americans here. All right, all right. Dude, there's like still murdering them, man. It said Obadiah wants for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day, matter of fact, we go down here 18. All right, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. Right after 1,000 years of slavery, Esau, you're going to be burnt up by 12 tribes of Israel. The house of Esau for stove, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. All right, so Yahweh has spoken it, man. All right, so hey, man, that's the end of Esau, you know. All right, so-called white man. That's why he fighting hard right now, man. All right, because he knows he's going down. All right, so with that, hope you all been edified, and shalom.